Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Gavinsky's Tutorials, and today I'm taking a quick look at two things: how to use Splat-to-Clat in iOS as a multi-out, how and why to use it. Okay, that's first thing. Second thing I'm going to look at is Loopmix, how to load your own sounds, because that is something that has been causing people a lot of confusion. I think these two apps can be a lot of fun to use together. Now, I'm not doing a Splat-to-Clat full walkthrough for various reasons. One major one being that, this has already been reviewed by a bunch of desktop YouTubers, like as far back as about 2 weeks ago. So it doesn't seem the best of my time to cover that ground again. Very cool sounding app though. Now, why would we want to use it multi-out, right? Well, let's just first listen to what it would sound like. Now, even though I've got all these instances open here, if I was just playing one instance with no multi-out, this is what it would sound like. So really nice. Okay, but it can be a lot of fun. If you use it multi-out, you can add FX to separate sounds. And it's not that obvious how you would do this. It works a bit differently from most multi-out apps. Let's first listen to what kind of sounds we could get by just going in and adding some of our own FX. So here I'm using a bit of bleed motion, audio damage replicant 2, another bleed motion, a bleed phaser, mixed with unfiltered audio, lo-fi AF, you know what that means? That's on an open beta at the moment. And I really like how they sound together. And then we've got a bit of delay here from Genuine Sound, Vari Sound. Now here, unfiltered audio needlepoint. That's a subtle one. Least granulizer. Okay, so let's look first of all at how you set that up. So there are a few things about the way this works that are a bit different from how most multi-out apps work, because with most multi-out apps, you don't actually have to do anything in the app itself to assign different tracks or whatever, or different instruments in this case, to certain multi-outs. But in this one, you do. Another thing that's a bit different is in some apps, when you open up an instance, if you want to use it as multi-out, you have to actually choose. Let me just press replace here. Go into audio unit extension. Let's say if I wanted to go in here, I may have to choose an actual multi-out version of Splat-to-Clat, for example. There would be two versions there. One that's just the regular one and one that's multi-out. But with Splat-to-Clat, there's not. There's just one version, which personally I like. So you just open up the main version, and then how do you open up the other multi-out channels? Now, a lot of you will know this, but some won't. Let's just start over here with a completely fresh channel and just look at a very simple example of how you do that. So first you would open the Splat-to-Clat app. It's slow to open, by the way. Then you'd go to the second channel and you go down here, multibus audio out instances. You click here and now you can see that we actually have two. That's because I've already got all these ones open here connected to this main instance. But here I'm opening up a second one. So if I want to connect things to this instance, then here I would choose Splat-to-Clat A18 because this is channel 18. This other one is related to channel 1. Okay, so I choose that. Now you can see here it has this number 2. Now there will be no sound in the first one, which again, sometimes with different multi-out instruments, you actually have to mute the first one because a lot of the time it plays the whole thing. Well, in this one, it doesn't make any sound. Again, I actually quite like that because you don't have to bother then going in and muting it. So then the easiest way to do things is click on the bottom and just do duplicate, right? And make as many different channels as you'll need. Now remember that the first main instance, that one is not actually going to produce any sound whatsoever, right? In this particular case of the Splat-to-Clat multi-out. So if we look here, for example, at this deep kit, then let's see how many different actual sounds we've got going on in here. That will determine how many instances we want. If we want to have each one on a separate instance, we could combine them if we wanted. But we got 1, 2. Okay, look here, there's no sound, so that's not 3 actually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we got 9 different sounds in here. So what we would do is just open up our first multi-out channel, and I already showed you how to do that, and just keep on duplicating that. And you're going to keep on duplicating until you get enough channels, right? And then you're going to be able to hear those soloed, right, as we already saw. Okay, but like I said, there's another thing which is a bit different in this. So we need to actually assign these. So let's click on this tool and we have to actually long click. And then it opens up this menu. I mean, we can actually use its own internal effects if we want, by the way. There are other different things you can assign here, but like I say, this is not a tutorial on this app. So here, for this one, I'm going to choose audio output 3 to 4. Okay, for this one, the next one, I'm choosing audio output 5 to 6, and so on. So this one's going to be 7 to 8. I'll choose for that here. 9 to 10, 11 to 12, and so on, right? 13 to 14, 15 to 16. And then basically, I think I put these together in the same channel, 17 to 18, and oops. And 17 to 18, so they're both going to the same one. Okay, now, so that is how you assign and how you set up multi-out in Splat-to-Clat. Important thing. Next thing I want to look at is, let's say with Loopmix, which I did make an extremely detailed 1 hour long sponsored video on the other day. Highly recommend it if you haven't watched it yet. It'll teach you absolutely everything you need to know about this app. So here what I've done is I've loaded in these different channels of Splat-to-Clat so that I can play with them in Loopmix. So let's look at what I did there. So you can see that in Splat-to-Clat, for these different multi-out instances, I sent them to different buses, right? So if you don't know how to do that, you should watch my tutorial on almost everything you need to know about AUM. I think it's the most popular video on my channel. Again, if we just look back there, when we have destinations, one thing is mix bus, and we're just choosing mix to bus A. So this allows us to group sounds together, giving us more control. So because Loopmix only has 6 tracks in one instance, even though Splat-to-Clat is sounding out 9 tracks, I don't actually need 9 tracks, and I want to condense that into 6. So what I did was I grouped things together in a way that sounded right to me. So I put these 2 kick sounds together, both going to bus A, and then I put the next 2 sounds going to bus B. I just listened through to things first and felt what would be a good way to put them. Put these 2 into C. I put this one into D, this one into E, and then yeah, that's everything done there. Okay, and then these are, okay, so here we're sending these 2 into A, and here we're receiving from A, right? So here we're receiving from B, and again, that's just something that we set up. So when we've got an empty slot here, we would go to mix bus, receive from bus A. Okay, here, receive from bus B, receive from bus C, D, E. Okay, now then what I did was I recorded those processed, so I had all the effects on, and I recorded them into AUM. So how to do that? Okay, so press record here, record here, record, record. Now, why am I sending them to F? That's just because I've got a compressor here connected to a bit of side chaining for my mic chain to reduce the volume of the sound while I speak. But you know, you can send them to anything that you want as long as it's not already being used. Otherwise, you're going to get feedback. So these are all set up to record. And then I would just press record in AUM. And the way that AUM is set up by default is that it's going to record a bar at a time. So if I press record here, 2, 3, 4, and I'm pressing stop, but it keeps recording. Okay, so it will stop recording at the end of the bar within which I depress the record button. So what we've done here now is we've recorded some 4-bar loops. I just deactivate record from these. And what I'm going to do is just swipe those out because I don't actually want to hear those anymore. And so now I'm going to open up a Loopmix. Press pause and press rewind. And so here, basically in Loopmix, how do we add our own sounds? Well, basically, anytime we open up a preset in this, or if we have an initialized preset or whatever, when we open up this load screen, we can see that there are 6 tracks over here. And, these may be empty or they may have names in them or whatever. But basically, if you want to load something, let's say I want to load something here. I click here, okay? And then I go in here and I find the thing that I want to load. Now, I'm using my audio share files, AUM recordings, and then you can see I've got a bunch of different AUM sessions here that have recordings in them. And I wanted the ones from this. And what I did was I loaded in some that I made earlier, right? So, I just click on one of these and that'll get loaded in that slot. So you can see here, basically I loaded the output of bus A here, bus B here, bus C here, D here, and E here. Now, if I wanted to add something else, right? Like, let's say I like the sound in this kit. Let's just say I like this. I could also just drag that in here. I could either put it over an existing track or drag it into an empty track. Okay. No idea whether it'll sound good or not, but let's see. Now, oops, let me undo that. Go to the sequencer tab. I'm just going to bring that pad in. But let's hear what that's like. It's actually pretty cool. Okay, and now I won't really go into more, except to mention that these 2 tracks are locked. So when I press randomize, they are not going to be randomized. But these other things, although I'm going to turn pitch off, pitch and volume will not be randomized. But these other things can be randomized. Sequencer, rearrange, reverse, and density. But these locked tracks will not be changed. Right, so I have this that I can play around with in Loopmix. And as I say, I won't go into that. I mean, there's a lot that you can do. You can manually decide what things to reverse and so on. And you can come up with tons of cool stuff. So these apps can work very well together. One thing, though, is that Loopmix doesn't have shuffle or something like that. And Splat-to-Clat is really, really good for those real nice, dirty, shuffled sounds. So if you use the density tab in this to do ratcheting, it might not sound all that great without being able to add a little bit of shuffle to it. But overall, you can see that these 2 apps could play very well together. So just wanted to make that quick video because I've seen that there's, particularly with Loopmix, there was a lot of confusion about how to add your own sounds. So I wanted to look at that. And as I say, I didn't want to make a full tutorial on Splat-to-Clat, but I felt it was worth showing how the multi-out function worked, as I think that probably other people might not have covered that. I have no idea, as I haven't watched the videos, but it's the kind of thing that a lot of people tend to leave out. So if you found this video useful, please do give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. And subscribe for more if you haven't. I nearly always have giveaways on new apps that come out, sometimes worth a lot of money. Like later this week, I'll have a giveaway on new GeoShred in-app purchases. I'll have 3 of those to give away, worth, like, the whole bundles are worth over $100 each. So if you're not subscribed, that's quite a chunk of change there. And I'm sure you'd far rather win those than pay for them, even though they're great. So, okay, everyone, take it easy. See you soon. Cheers.